Happy Saturday. You did it. You finished another week. Oh, you can take a breath today. Oh, even if today has some things you have to do, have to catch up on, activities with the kids, you're going to start that dream, you're going to just take a beat for yourself, whatever it is, let's have some gratitude for having made it through another week. Let's have some intention today to experience the day. Because sometimes in all that hustle bustle of the week, we forget to feel the day, which is what we so desperately desire as humans. To feel the day more is the central desire most people actually have without knowing it. And so today, feel this Saturday. As you go through the moments of the day, breathe a little bit more. As you go through the moments of the day, feel a little more gratitude come in. As you go through the moments of the day, feel a little more connection with spirit or the moment. I think that will help. I love to bring up every single day on these daily fires a new personal development topic for you because I'm trying to help you make self-improvement a way of life. So I feel like if we can introduce new topics every single day here right on the Daily Fire, it makes this a special place to come for you. The Growth Day becomes your home for personal development because every touch point, every time you log in, every time you listen to this, it's one new idea that reminds you to be your best. One new idea that reminds you to live a good life. One new idea that reminds you of the blessings of our world and the choices that you have. One new idea. It might be common sense personal development. It might be common sense, ideas in terms of values or ethics or things you already know about your own psychology. But I can tell you, as you already know, common sense is not always common practice. And that's why so many people with tremendous potential fail to ever reach it. They forget the common sense things. They don't set the foundation and stay disciplined to it. So I really honor you for being here and doing this work. If you're hearing this audio, you can imagine there's tens of thousands of people who could log in today, but you're here and you're listening and you're staying diligent and deliberate and consistent about your own personal development. Every action of hitting that Growth Day app and logging in, whether you're on desktop or on your phone, that moment is another touch point with your personal development. And that's an incredible thing. Today's topic I'd like to bring up to you is a topic of patience. I've asked people for about 15 years of teaching now at all our major big events and as I coach people to make sure that they set a personal and professional intention at the beginning of each month to just decide what's the thing you're going to work on this month. And just having one narrow personal development focus every single month. And I've been doing this in my own practice for, I think, my 23rd year this year. And the funny thing is, patience has been the one that shows up as a recurring character in that year over year over year. I don't think I've ever gone a year without 1 month being dedicated towards patience. Because like you, I have grand visions for my future. Like you, I want abundance for my family, and I want to make a difference, and I want meaningful work. And like you, people count on me because when you're the striver, sometimes you're the strong one. When you're the striver, sometimes you're the one people turn to. And when they can't figure out something, they call you, or when they need some help, they call you. And you become the leader and the person that people rely on. And when all that is happening, obviously it can become quite overwhelming. But that forward direction that you have causes an impulse to grow. That forward momentum that you have as a striver, it's like, oh, I want to go do these things. I want to achieve these things. Oh yeah, I'm going to move towards that so I can cause this abundance and this joy and this meaning and everything else. And sometimes we're so focused towards tomorrow, to pushing it forward, to making it happen. We also get a little discouraged when it doesn't happen fast enough. We also get a little frustrated when we launch the thing and it doesn't hit the numbers our peers hit. When we create something new and it doesn't seem like it's perfect. It's very easy in those moments to be impatient. And the problem with impatience is it tends to be the band leader with a bunch of banging drums of bad behaviors behind it. It's like when you are impatient, almost every poor behavior happens after that. You're impatient with the kids, so what's the next behavior? You spark at them, scream at them, get frustrated with them, don't listen to them. In some ways, do you damage the relationship? In our careers, when we are impatient, we tend to ask for something that we haven't yet earned and offend people. We tend to be that person when we're impatient at work that suddenly, other people are like, hey, you know what? You don't know this yet. And we become demanding when we are impatient. Have you ever noticed that? When you're impatient, you become demanding of others. You become tyrannical. You become authoritarian. You become someone who doesn't listen, someone who becomes entitled, someone who gets too quick to anger with yourself and with others. And I don't say this in any accusatory way. I'm letting you know that's why I work on this all the time. It's been a recurring thing in my life. Patience, Brendan. Patience. Now, here's the truth about patience. Some people are, quote unquote, too patient, and their life suffers. And so what's the difference? Because if you're too patient, you don't try. You hope that things will come towards you. You lack that self-reliance, that personal initiative to push things forward. So what's the difference between the two? Well, I've studied this a long time. And what I've come to find is that if you are patient, but you lack discipline and practice, then you're toast. Because that patience becomes apathy, laziness, disconnection. But if you can be patient and you still have daily deliberate habits, in other words, you have practices that keep moving the ball forward, even just 1 inch at a time, that person ends up the person who grows their strength, who develops that grit, who keeps persevering, who even in the trudging, difficult times where it doesn't seem like it's going to pop, bam, they keep going. I think it's some of the people I admire the most in business who I've learned a lot from. And these are people who, started around the same time I did and built major companies as well. And some of them to unicorn levels. And having been part of that journey once or twice in my life, I can share with you that the people who end up with the big outcomes tended to be very, very patient. What looked like an overnight thing was actually a 10-year daily practice. When you break it down, it was like, no. For 10 years, they showed up every day. They tried every day. They were diligent and conscientious every day. And guess what? If they had a bad day, no problem. The next day they didn't give up, get discouraged, have shame and guilt and shut themselves down with apathy. Instead they said, okay, back at it. Back at it. And so if you didn't have a great week, I want to tell you, patience. But pair that patience with practice. Every day move the ball forward just a little bit. Not expecting big jumps and starts, not expecting overnight success. Just patience. To know you're on the right path and moving it forward every day, just a little bit, I promise you that turns into extraordinary things. Every day is a good day to set some kind of intention for what you want to improve, for what area of your life you might need to work on. And today, if you can take this topic and install it into your relationships or your careers and be more patient with others, I think you'll start to notice freedom enters your life. My biggest lesson of having made patience a whole month goal, probably dozens of times over the last 20 plus years, is that I learned that the practice of patience grants freedom. The more I practice patience, the more I feel free in the moment from stress, from anxiety, from that hurry that quickens the heart and makes you feel sick sometimes. That being the calm, patient one who's deliberately working towards things ends up being a freeing sense of self that is so much better than the hurried, manic, freaked out, highly anxious person that I was allowing myself to become in my 20s. That decision to shift, that time when I said in my life, I no longer want to be an impatient person. I no longer want to be an angry person. I no longer want stress and hurry to rule my days or my emotions. Just that intention led to a tremendous transformation over time. Every day is a great day to grow. I appreciate you being part of the Growth Day community. If you love these daily personal development topics, do me a favor. Please go rate and review this podcast on your app store, whether you're on iPhone or Android, Google Play. Please go leave us a review. Tell us what you think about it. We would really love to share the story of what we're doing here and how unique this daily touch point could be for people in their lives. If we could just all motivate and inspire our families and our communities to create daily touch points of personal development, then guess what? Over time, they will grow. And if over time we grow together, we all achieve greater freedoms and joy and connection and meaning together. Because every day is a great day to grow together.